Hey, I got to run downstairs to get on my other machine, but I'll be there momentarily.
Okay, and we are live on YouTube already. Apparently he has run downstairs.
Hello there.
Okay, I hear you, but no video of you, just a logo.
I see. I see that. But let me just bring this up. Let's see. I'm all dark. I'm in a dark room. This is great. Why is it that this stuff always works? Okay, tell you what, I'm gonna leave this and I'm gonna try to come back here.
Okay, there you go. You're in San Francisco.
Yay, I'm back. Yay, that worked. Okay, good. There we go, and we're on the side-by-side. I don't know if it's going to show up that way on YouTube or not, but what the heck.
We are live.
Yes, we are. I noticed we're actually on YouTube. It's a miracle of modern science. Are we showing up side by side, or
we are on my end, and there's two Steve Sandys.
Oh yeah, and the one is just the logo.
Right.
Everything's working the way it should be. Well, in that case, I'm going to go ahead and I'll do an intro. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Sandy, and this is Marty Edwards, and we're here for beautiful AWT TV. And finally, we're back on YouTube live because our time under the band hammer has been completed, and we're back in the good graces of the people at YouTube. We won't tell you why we got sent over there, but you can watch one of the previous episodes and learn all about it. How are you doing, Marty?
Oh, doing fine. I was going to ask you, of course, one of our more popular things is to demo an app. And I would like to demo one right off the bat because it's time related. I won't be able to in a few minutes, probably.
Let's do it. Let's go for it.
Well, I'll tell you what, let me go ahead. We'll just jump right in. And I wanted to demo an app that has to do, if you have an iPhone, you're familiar with Find Friends or Find My iPhone. And I want to show you another app that Ruby and I have been using that I find actually much better than that. Let me see if I can. I'm like you. Why does this always work at other times? And let me get the screen of the iPhone going up here, and then I'm going to share it. I think this is an app that people would like. It's a free app. You can pay for a little bit more quality. All right. All right, there's my phone on the screen. Let me share that.
There we go. I see it.
Okay. There's my iPhone, all the widgets over there. This app at the bottom called Life 360. It's a free app. You can, anyone has it installed, you have in your account, you can track each other's locations like Find Friends. You see Find Friends up there. Let me tap on the icon, and I'm doing this now because Ruby is traveling right now in Missouri. And I'm at home in Kentucky. It shows me right there. As you see at the top, my battery is 65%. You can see, of course, I got it plugged in. I'll zoom in a little bit. I'm out here on the farm, and that's extremely accurate. That's where my office is. And so, but we'll pinch, and let's go back in a little bit. I really like this app. But what I like about it, says that Ruby is moving, and usually it will show, and she could be at a place that's, let me swipe it away, could be at a place that's not the best quality right now. She's actually in Mark Twain National Forest, but she's going to be, that's Blue Eye, Missouri and Blue Eye, Arkansas. She's entering the border. So here in a moment, you'll probably see her hopefully actually moving in real time. It usually does, especially the signal. I mean, there's no like 2 or 3 minute delay.
Well, I noticed earlier she was cruising down the road there. So
yeah, and I don't know why. Sometimes it stops. Sometimes it will hold it for quite a long time, but it updates more often than not in real time. And when she gets near this town, hopefully we'll see her updating. But you can see she's in the woods, right? But I told her we were going to do this. She's on her way to her parents. They live in Berryville, Arkansas. And so she's probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes away. And so we use this a lot to just keep up with each other. I get notifications. If you'll notice at the top, her battery is 94%. Her phone is not plugged in, or you see me at the bottom. I'm at home. She's moving with 94%. I'm now at 66, but you see a lightning bolt on mine. I'm plugged in.
Cool.
This is really a neat app. It's free, but you can pay for more premium stuff. I'm hoping when she gets here near Blue Eye, she'll have a little bit better signal, and you'll see her moving in real time.
Well, I noticed up at near the top, there was something that looked like a, I'm trying to think what you call it, a text balloon. Is it possible to send a message to that person?
Yes, I'll send a message to her right now. And there you go. I just sent it to her. So she should be, I'm hoping, moving. It'll catch up here in a moment. It is actually much better than I'm demonstrating because she is really in some wooded area right now. But let me show you some of the other things of what she has done today. I tap on her and I go get a driver's report. You can do quite a bit. But for some reason, maybe it's because I'm demoing it on the screen. It's not loading everything here. But it will show what that she has done today as far as driving. I looked it up just a while ago. I can get directions to her, use Maps or Google Maps. And from my location where she's at, right there, you can see it's about an 8.5 hour drive.
Oh, that's a heck of a drive.
Yeah, it's normally about 12 hours to her parents. And it says it's updated 3 minutes ago. I honestly don't know if it could be because I'm sharing it on screen that it's having issues updating or not, because it should update real time. Let me swipe it away. I don't think I'm having any trouble with any kind of internet here. Sometimes programs don't like it whenever you broadcast them out like that.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed. You know, sometimes you share the screen and all of a sudden everything just goes.
I know.
Down the tubes.
That's what I'm trying to do here. And it seems to not be updating. But I will show you for what it's worth. Normally, you can watch anyone that you have on this in real time, see them actually moving. I mean, it's real time. I can see her come up to a stoplight, then turn, what lane. It's extremely accurate. So don't share with anyone if you don't want to see. For some reason, it says it's unable to load. I'm actually going to stop sharing and see if that helps. I don't know. It's a strange thing. It's like it will not let me as long as we're sharing. But as you said, there's certain apps that see whenever they go to another screen, they will not do that. And the reason I want to do this right now is because she is going to be at her parents soon, and I will not be able to demonstrate this.
Which would, yeah, so it's a good thing to, as she's driving there. Speaking of which, I'm trying to see if I can bring up our page here on YouTube. And it says it's waiting for Apple World today.
Well, it says we're live, and I'll tell you what I'm going to try to do.
I give up. But at least the chat's up. Hi. There we go. I can actually.
Well, I tell you, we can talk, and if this comes back in a bit, we'll go from there.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, like I said, I thought we were live, and I just went out to the website because we had a whatever the heck you want to call it embed in there that people should be able to watch, and it says waiting for, and yet I see this thing up here and it says live on YouTube. So go figure.
Yeah, I don't quite know. And this is odd. I'm not getting any signal updates. I'm going to unhook it totally from the computer because a while ago I checked it and she was updating just live going down the road. I think she's probably in a poor area. And
well, I did see a sub sandwich shop, so maybe she's stopping for
may have
quick dinner.
Yeah, I sort of doubt that close to her parents' home, but if she hasn't heard from me, what she said she's going to do is to drive past and go into town. It's only a couple miles, and they got really good cell signal. She said she would drive around there.
Cool.
And
so I'll probably see her shortly there.
Yeah, we'll try it again here in a minute. So go ahead and give it a what do you have new? And I'll try this a little bit later.
Well, it was interesting. A couple of things I was going to bring up that are just kind of Apple news. Thought it was interesting today. Angela Ahrendt, who has been the senior vice president of retail for Apple, announced that she's leaving the company.
I was shocked.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of like one of your fixtures suddenly just going, "Hi, I'm leaving," and she said she was doing it for personal and professional reasons. And I jokingly said on the our little chat room that we have, I said, "Gee, I wonder if she's going to try to get Microsoft stores, kind of updated and get people going there." So that was probably the biggest news. The other thing today is that as of today, Apple is now at the top of the list of companies in terms of market capitalization. Again, it actually squeaked by. I think it's like a couple $1 million, $10 million more than Microsoft right now. But Apple actually went back into first. So that was a bit of a shock. They're not at $1 trillion anymore. Maybe they will. So that was good news. And what else did I have? Something else Apple related, and I can't remember what it was. I could always just say, "Hey, there's another lawsuit," and that would definitely be, that would be the truth.
Well, I'm checking here, and I am showing us live on YouTube.
Huh? I wonder why. Yeah, I was trying to bring it up on iPhone here, and for some reason it wasn't coming up. I will try again.
Paul Gans is watching.
Paul Gans is watching. Hi, Paul Gans.
Says we're live.
Well, you know what I'm going to do is just go straight into the YouTube app, and I'm going to try this again.
Was the GPS always on this app? I honestly don't know, but I keep, let me check in the background here and see I have it set. I'm usually where I can charge my phone constantly, so I keep things on pretty much here.
Well, I'm sure we're grabbing just so much of the audience from the State of the Union address right now. So that could be a real big problem, right?
Right. Well, I'm
Let's
glad
see. I'm going to
Paul's
go.
on because,
Oh, yeah, here I see it. Okay, there it is.
yeah, I'll try to demonstrate this a little bit later. I do not know why. Why is it when you try to demonstrate live, technical problems arise?
I don't know. And I'm going to say, hi, Paul. There we go. He's laughing. So,
Yeah.
well, it was funny because I was going in and trying to get this stuff to come up and kept giving me all sorts of garbage. The picture looks great. I got to admit, at
Yeah,
least on.
your face looks better than I've seen it in some time.
There we
Most,
go. Didn't look that great, does it?
yeah, I don't know if I have chat capabilities or not on our channel here, but I don't need them.
Oh, he
Uh,
says we've got 15 minutes until we get trumped.
oh
So
yeah,
apparently he's gonna watch the SOTU as it were. No, I know you, Paul. You're really waiting for the Democratic rebuttal so you can throw something at your TV, right? Can't wait
yeah,
to see what kind.
I will demo. So if I were to just interrupt and say, "Hey, can I demo this?" It's when she got back to better signal because she was technically in the Mark Twain National Forest, and it gets a little rough there. So she has up. Oh yeah, she's going through a place where it's pretty rough now. She's in, well, a lot of farmland.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. No, I hate to make political comments, but it's pretty sad when the Democrats take somebody who's basically lost an election and they have her make the response. But hey, what the heck?
Uh,
The Republicans had Bobby Jindal a few years back, and he had, lost out in the presidential primaries. So, there we go.
I'm going to get this ready
Okay.
for in a bit. Not quite yet. I've just
Well, tell you what, while we're waiting, I have an app that I'd like to demonstrate. And what I'm going to have to do, I'll probably go dark here, like, kind of like you did. But it is, well, actually two apps, but I'll show one right away. I don't think I've shown AnyList before, have I? It's a new grocery list
I don't think so.
application. I'm going to show it because I really like this app. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up here. I probably just disappeared, I'm sure. And where are you, AnyList? There we are. And what I need to do is share my screen. Screen mirror. Well, that wasn't nice. I'm back. Let me do the share content. That would work a little bit better. There we go. Screen. There we are. Start broadcast. 3, 2, 1. Stop broadcast. Okay. So, can you see my screen?
Well, no, it's just an Apple World Today logo. But I tell you what, if you don't mind me interrupting, I've got her at super quality.
Oh, good.
If I can get the phone up on, if it's not one thing, it's another, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to stop my broadcast, and you can go ahead and get yours going. Well,
all right. Can you see my screen?
yes, I can. She's moving.
All right. Now, see, she is moving through Missouri. Paul, I hope you're watching. Now,
She just
that's
went past the Hungry Farmer.
she's in Oak Grove, Arkansas. As you can see, she's moving. The map will, and that is
Hey,
real time.
look at that police car behind her.
Yeah.
Whoa, she's over on the other side of the road.
I'll zoom in a little bit, but you can see, I mean, it updates in real time. Uh,
That's cool.
and this is a free app. There she is going around. It's so accurate
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah. Of course, it's dark there now. That's what I wanted to show you. She's getting ready to go by Carol's Country Cafe. Okay, she'll have to come to a stop sign here in this town. She may have had to stop there. But as you can see, there's real updates. And I tap on her. She's moving. And it gives me her history today. Since she last stopped, you can see at the top, she's still moving, which is interesting.
She was in Springfield.
Right, Missouri today. She's driven 59 miles since that stop. Now, hold on. Let's go back up here. She's come to the stop sign. Can you see her moving gradually?
Yeah. Hey, she didn't stop. She just went right to that.
Probably a little bit of delay.
Driving through the parking lot there. No, I'm just kidding.
This is why you want to share it with people that you really trust, you know, your family.
Yeah.
You can see it is real time. It's not like Find Friends that maybe a minute or two later.
That is so cool.
It's really moving down the road. And the purple area is like, you know, the accuracy. And so, but it's.
So if she started driving through the field, we'd know that the accuracy was a little bit off. And it's not that she's driving through the field.
Yeah, she's in Oak Grove, Arkansas, and you can see she's moving along. And what I was going to show you a while ago, if I go down, it tells me her trips today as they were split up. Her last trip from 6:27, she left Springfield, Missouri, and to, 7:49, she may have stopped. But whenever you do that, if you'll look at the top, it tells me her top speed on that leg of the trip was 59, or it should okay, right here. She hasn't finished this one. So look at one today. She had stopped there north of West Plains, Missouri. She drove 90 miles from 4:46 p.m. to 6:23 p.m., an hour 36 minutes. Her top speed was 68 miles per hour.
What are the events?
That's a good question. Tap on events. I don't purchase them. I can see her top speed, and these are locked because I haven't purchased. You get
okay.
The phone. It's really like if you have teenagers, if they use their phone, if they hit high speed, I think 75 miles an hour, it reports. If there's hard braking or rapid acceleration, detects the, the sensors in your phone can tell if you really stop hard, and will send that to you. And also, it has enabled crash detection and response. If she crashes, it will automatically. It uses like the, GPS or the, various sensors in the phone. It will automatically contact emergency services. There's two levels of this. I think $3 a month and like $8. See if I can exit out of it here. I don't want to learn more, but that's all right.
There we are.
Yeah, the $7 a month high-speed phone use, crash detection, 24/7, driver care support. It gives more details of all these. Roadside assistance, unlimited places. I have it set when she gets home, gets to our church building, and when she gets to her parents, I can do 3 places free. 30 days locations, history, and this is interesting. It also will alert you of local crime if there's been a theft, burglary, vandalism in the area. Registered sex offenders, if they live in that area, it'll notify you as you go by, or notify your family. And so crime, I think I did this for the trial one time. And so there's a $2.99 a month. It's almost the same thing, except you don't get, I'm trying to think here, you don't get actual live, like they slammed on their brakes and such as that. But
you don't get this person just really floored the car.
And so this is free. The app is. And to answer Paul's question, I'm sure it uses GPS pretty much all the time, because when I go to it, but I haven't noticed any battery drain really to speak of. Here's her driving today. Here's her toughest drive, Steve. You'll see. She did an 83-mile drive from around Paducah, Kentucky to Poplar Bluff. To actually Sikeston, Missouri. Had to go over. You can tell the path. She had to go over the Ohio River, then the Mississippi River. She hit 70 miles an hour during that stretch, but she was on interstate, so she was right on the speed limit. And so you can do the history.
was going to say, Paul's got a question. He said, is the subscription for each phone, or does one subscription cover other phones?
I'm pretty sure it's one subscription for your entire family. You can have as many people as you want. And I believe that's correct. But don't quote me on that because I've never gone with a subscription. But that's a good question. And so I'm going to let Paul and the world see my phone right now. Let's see my battery usage and see, because it's been running all day tracking her. So let's see how Life 360 has done. All right. 2% background activity, 24 minutes on screen, 59 minutes in the background. That's not bad. I've tracked her a lot today. It runs all the time.
Yeah, and it's way down on the list.
It is. And let's see the last 10 days how it's done. You can tell what app I use a lot, TuneIn Radio, all the time. And let's go and see how it's done in the past 10 days. Let's do the percentage for the last 1%. That's not bad. And I have everything running full throttle. So let me check about where I can check the GPS. I think it's under privacy, isn't it? For our British friends.
Yeah, privacy.
Yeah. I have an app. I'll get that for you here in a bit. I think location services, I definitely have it. All right, location services, Life 360. I have it set to always use location. As you see here, location uses GPS, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. And I have Life 360 set to always. And as you can see, even set it always, I have it running 24/7. Last 10 days, what do we say, 2% of the battery or 1%?
Yeah, so it's really just sipping at the battery there. That is excellent.
It's nominal. And this is free, and we love it. It's just me and her. You can see me. I'm here at home. And I was going to, if I drag my feet a little bit, she's in an area where, let me text her that she can go ahead and stop at her parents'. That was our plan. If she didn't get a text, she was going to drive on to town so I could demonstrate her moving in real time, but she had a good signal there. So I'm going to text her right now. All right. Stop at your parents'. Test successful.
Yay.
And I was dragging my feet here a bit to see if she got to her parents, but I will actually just take a screenshot of that and probably share it here in a minute. So I don't bore everybody to death. But are there any more questions? And so,
well, I got to say, I like that a lot more than back when Barb was still working. Right now we pretty much drive everywhere together, so it doesn't matter as much. But when she was working, we used an app called Glimpse, which is a lot like that. But Glimpse has one issue, and that is that you can only set up your trip for a certain amount of time. And, so for 30 minutes or something like that. I love the fact that this, can pretty much be open-ended. This would be great if, you had a kid who is driving to college or something like that, and you say, you're going to run this app, and I'm going to know where you are every minute. So,
well, if we can just go a few more minutes here, she's going to be at her parents', which is at this icon down here, and Ruby's parents info. So I have it set to notify me. As you see, I have it set to notify, and I set the circle how big I wanted it. There's a slider. Nice. And I have it set to, notify me anytime she arrives and leaves. And she's made the turn up at the corner, so we'll drag our feet a few minutes if the powers that be don't mind. Because let me turn off Do Not Disturb. And you'll see it roll across the top here. So, and there's a couple more things I could probably talk about here, but if you subscribe, you get 30 days of history, and it shows details of where that they have been. I know she went to a Taco Bell somewhere today, and you can zoom in and really see it keeps a path of where, there, look at that. She went to Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah.
At that. And some people absolutely wouldn't like this. Oh, it's invading my privacy. Well, it's my wife and I'm her husband. You know, we share these things. I want to know she feels comfortable.
Yeah.
And you know, because if she doesn't report in or something happened, I can take a look at this. I know Paul's ex FBI. If she for some reason just metaphorically drops off the map, I can look and say, well, she was at Taco Bell at so and so we'll go from there. It's really comfort for us, you know. I don't feel an invasion of privacy, and I always tell people this: like I know she was at Taco Bell, and I know the time. I guarantee you there were probably 20 to 30 people in there that don't even know my wife that knew exactly where she was at while she was in Taco Bell. They knew what she ordered, where she parked, and what she was driving. And they're total strangers. Why would we care if her husband knows where she was at when I'm trying to watch out for her and she's trying to watch out for me? So
Yeah.
she's nearly there now. And even if she bypasses her parents, it should go off. So give it just a few more seconds and you'll see it roll across the top. But I've been wanting to demonstrate this app for Face ID.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I've been wanting to demonstrate this app for some time. Now, you'll see she's getting near her parents. There could be a little bit of latency, and I don't mean to take so much time here, but I discovered a couple of other things there. So, and of course, the notifications will go off whether I'm in the app or not. I can be back at my home screen. It doesn't matter. So, as a matter of fact, I'll probably this is the last curve before her parents live here in Arkansas out on a farm. And he's been a chicken farmer, was for many years. There's a couple of the chicken houses and she's getting ready to go right by them and she's almost there. And so I guess I would ask Paul, our audience at large, are there any more questions? And I'm going to put it out here, make sure I have do not disturb on so y'all can see the notification roll across the top. It makes a real nice sound. And here I'd say in about a minute or less, it'll just roll across the top. And that's called Life. There it is. See,
There it is.
Ruby arrived at Ruby's parents. I can tap on it. Oh, and she is there because she got in the purple circle.
Nice.
And so I will now turn it off. I think I probably have bored people to tears, but I wouldn't say bore them to tears. There's a lot of neat things in this. Oh, chance for rain tomorrow. See what but I had texted her. And so see the details. She's gotten off right there. There's her parents' house. And so you can see there's a lot of details. Okay.
That is so cool. That's an excellent app. Thanks for demonstrating that.
Well, you're welcome. I'm glad we had an audience tonight. Everything just came together because we're live on YouTube. We had a massive audience, Paul.
Massive.
And I've been wanting to demonstrate that. And I told Ruby this morning, I said, since you're going to be driving, I said, I'd like to demonstrate that app tonight.
That is so cool.
But that update, you know, Find Friends, well, if I may be quite frank, pales in comparison to it.
Yeah.
It really does. You know, it updates maybe every minute or two. You have to refresh. This is live tracking constantly, and the battery drain is absolutely nominal.
I always like one story, though. I have to laugh. You know, shortly after Find My Friends came out, and my wife and I had just, we were going somewhere, and we went to Orlando, Florida. We spent the night there, and in the morning we were going to, you know, take off and go do something. And I'm sitting there, and I get this bling, and it was a note from one of the people that I worked with at the old unofficial Apple weblog. And he had just flown into Orlando, and he says, we're just taxiing in. Where are you guys? And I said, we're at the airport. And he says, want to do breakfast? But, you know, he had seen he didn't even know I was going on the trip. I didn't know he was going to be there.
That's very neat.
And, you know, that was really kind of cool.
I like Find Friends, and I have quite a few on there. But this is so personal and so much detail.
Yeah.
You really want to share it just family. I have also my brother on there, and you can do groups. I just have one called family, me and my wife, and then I have one with just my brother so that they don't see each other's data, not that they would matter. But let me show you one other thing, and this won't be a broadcast screen that just came on, and Paul, I think, will be interested in this, that it shows after I don't, maybe I can just hold it up to the camera. But after she finished, the screen went black. Can you see what it says there?
72-mile drive, top speed,
Yeah.
62 miles per hour.
Yeah, Ruby completed a drive. After she has stopped, I think for 5 minutes, you get a recap of her
That's
last
cool.
her last drive. And the reason for 5 minutes, you don't want it to send you a recap every time you come to a stoplight or stop sign. But if you haven't moved in 5 minutes, it tells how long their last drive was and their top speed.
That is really cool. Well, that one gets a thumbs up from both of us. I'm going to try and see if I can get my list app going here now. I'm going to start broadcast here, and we'll see if I can actually get this thing to come up. And I don't know why it's not showing up.
Paul is gone. We have been upended by the President of the United States.
I'm really unhappy about that, Paul. I'm going to have to.
He says he's going to watch later, though.
Let's see here. Okay, screen broadcast. Got it on. And going to this. And I'm still not seeing this. For some reason, it was trying to screen record it, which I thought was really odd. Well, so much for this. I was going to demonstrate I'm doing this from the app again. Can you see my face again?
I'll say it as stoically as I can. Yes, I can see your face.
Sadly, you can't. Well, anyway, at least I am not absolutely sure why I'm unable to share that stuff, but
well, I'll tell you what, I'll share one quick thing here. We have live security cameras around on the house.
Hey, you've got a raccoon out there.
Yeah, he came up on the porch eating kitty food. So,
speaking of which, we had just the other day, I'm in or on a couple of different groups. There's one on Facebook, and then I don't know if you're familiar with the Nextdoor app, but the Nextdoor app is really designed for the suburbs. You know, it kind of highlights neighborhoods, and then for a particular neighborhood, you can, people can post things in there like, hey, I've just put an old lawnmower outside my house. If anybody needs an old lawnmower for parts, come by and pick it up, stuff like that. Very good. People will put things out there, got a real strange person who just walked by my house and was, with a flamethrower, and I'm concerned about it, or something like that. But anyway, this, put this information, or, that people put information out there and they put pictures out. Well, somebody took a picture of the green belt that's about a block away from us. And there were 4 bobcats that were kind of wandering together through there. And I've never seen them, go, it was like a pack. And really kind of cute to see them wandering around out there. So that was cool.
Well, that is interesting. Yeah, I love having the security cameras. The raccoons and the cats, they get along just fine. Raccoons, especially in cool weather. But it's not cool. We got 70 degrees today. So,
nice.
Yeah. They're calling for 74 on Thursday, but then Friday I have 35 at most.
Yeah, we're having snow coming in tomorrow afternoon, I think. And it's supposed to be a high of 30 and a low of 4. Which I'm not looking forward to.
No.
But at least it's not going to be snowing. We have a meeting we have to go to tomorrow morning, and I was dreading having to drive over to this thing in the snow, but it says 4 p.m. So I think we're good.
Well, since you can't screen share, I'll think of some things. I will tell you that I'll have a little something to compare notes with. It's not Apple related, but Samsung's coming out with their new lineup 2 weeks from tomorrow, February 20th. They're going to unveil their Galaxy S10 lineup.
That's cool.
So I plan on getting one of those, and maybe I can do some side-by-side comparisons, the differences in some apps. And, I still think, Probably, it wouldn't hurt sometime. Our audience might not like it if I did a little sometimes comparison of Apple, Android, apps and the differences, pros and
Yeah.
cons. I get a little
Yeah,
bit more
because
readership.
there are so many different devices out there in the world, and I think one of the biggest questions a lot of people have is, am I doing the right thing?
Right.
Sticking with this ecosystem as opposed to maybe opening my mind a little bit there. This is so weird.
Well, I plan on
I'm sorry,
getting
I'm
one.
looking at something
That's right.
here.
But one of the things I'm looking forward to most, rumors say it's going to have under the screen fingerprint reader or the
Nice.
Sonic. Yeah.
Of
And
course,
so,
what do you need that for, dude? You know what
yeah,
we've got now.
yeah, Face ID.
I
But
love
sometimes
Face ID.
I really like it too. But I want to see how the other works and see how it goes. And it's going to be their Android's first 7 nanometer chip. So I look forward to.
I just decided I wanted to go to space again, so we're in space. I'm still trying to figure out why the heck my sharing is not working. Previously, when I did this on iOS, I'm on the iPad Pro here. What I would do is go in and I'd say, "Oh, share the screen," and then I would go in, open up the app, and when I'd open the app, all I had to do was use the ever popular screen mirroring control, and it would come up and say, "Oh, I just lost everything there for a second." But anyway, it would come up and send the screen, and it worked perfectly the last time I used it. Now it's not. So I
Well, you're
hate
still
this.
trying to use the iPad Pro, right?
Oh, yeah.
This
And
might
so
be a sign. Stay with the
shame
Mac.
on you. Shame on you. Yeah, I just don't get it. It's driving me nuts here, because go in and you say share, go under share content, and we have all these different things here, box, at cloud drive, photos, screen. So, well, I'd really like to share a screen. So you hit screen, and it comes up with this thing. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, and it says screen broadcast, and it says start broadcast. So I hit start broadcast, and at this point, what it's doing, and the last time we tried this, it actually went and showed the screen. Here, what it's doing is it's doing a screen recording instead.
Yeah, and you're disappearing each time.
Yeah, I don't get it. And this I didn't test today. Everything else I tested. I knew the screens were going to come up. I knew we were going to be able to get it out there to YouTube, but kill me now.
Yeah. Well, I know you really, really like the iPad Pro, but I will say, in a lot of things I've read, doing the various audio functions where you have multiple streams is sometimes an uphill battle from what I've read, because the
Yeah.
lockdown nature of it.
Oh, I was talk about depressing. I was tomorrow I'm doing this meeting, and I thought, it'd really be a good idea not only to have the iPad, but a couple of months ago, a group that was doing an Indiegogo crowdfunding project. VinPoc is the name of the company, but that this VinPoc, wish I could remember the name of it. But anyway, it's a second screen that connects via USB-C. And, I tested it. It was great. You just plug the thing in. You could mirror the screen, the iPad screen on this other thing, which is great for showing other people what's on your screen, especially if they're across from you. So today I get the thing out because tomorrow I'm going to be doing this meeting. I figure, I'll just make sure everything's working properly. Dead on arrival. So,
Oh, wow. That is a little sad. I'm looking at, yeah, we're still live and everything. So
yeah, I've got this little live on YouTube thing up on my screen here. So yay, we know that's working. But
just
yeah,
can't share the
that was
screen.
definitely a lot easier than doing a Facebook. FaceTube.
Yeah. That's when
Or
you get to a certain
U-book.
age. You look
But
different. Oh, I had a face tube.
yeah, but it was, uh, just a lot easier to set up. The When I was trying to do this with Facebook, you had to set up a separate channel and all this other garbage that went on, and it didn't work. At least this is working, but I can't share anything with anybody. So
Well, you'll get it resolved.
some
Uh,
year.
yeah, but that is a little strange. Seems like iOS wants to lock down things to one thing or another. You can't you can't have like a Skype call and record it. It's one thing, I wrote the article, probably been a month now on Apple World Today about using Audio Hijack. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that software. It really makes a mixer board for your computer. You just put any sound anywhere you want and put them out, mix them together and put them to one output. It's really nice. But it has to be on Mac OS, not iOS.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing I'm hoping that we can do the next time, I guess I'll have to try sharing a screen the next time I do a test. The test went perfectly today, so
Yeah, I saw that. It was exciting.
oh, I know, wasn't it?
So,
I
well, I
should have
tell
at
you,
least
yeah.
picked up a cat and waved at him.
Well, maybe we can talk. We got about 15 minutes here, 14, a little bit of Apple news. You talked about they're back to the $1 trillion club, which is a very small club.
Well, not back to the
Almost. Yeah,
almost. But
highest
they're
valuation.
yeah.
There
Well,
you
the
go.
one thing I was going to bring up is, talk a little bit about the phone call last week. Of course, the first quarter 2019 earnings call, and that would have been November 1st through the end of the year. Great. It was really kind of interesting because, of course, at the beginning of January, Tim Cook came out with a kind of a memo to investors saying, well, we're not going to meet our original goals. And so we're kind of toning it down a little bit. And they met those. That was really good to see. But for me, I think the best news out of the entire thing was that they have iPhones were down, but if you look at every other product line was doing well. Macs were up. iPad was up surprisingly. It's always been one of those that's either been, flat
Right.
or going down. iPad sales were way up. And I think that's because of the new iPad Pros. People were probably waiting for something that had a little bit more power. Maybe they like the Face ID on it. I don't know what. Maybe they love USB-C. But anyway, sales were up on that. Mac sales were up. You take a look at I think they called it home. What is it? Home wearables, home and accessories was up huge. It was about 30% up over the previous year, which means that Apple Watches are just going crazy. It could be that you're actually starting to see some sales of the HomePod. And
Is that a product that you have?
HomePod? No.
Yeah, I don't either. So you have an Alexa though.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it sits next to my Mac there.
Well, we have talked, in depth that, and it's just common knowledge how much better assistants there are besides Siri. I really do like
Yeah.
Google Assistant, and so I utilize it a lot. And that's one of the things I'm looking forward to. We'll have it next time, but whenever we do our first broadcast in March, no, I'm not for sure. I may or may not, but our second broadcast in March, I'll definitely have the phone. It's going on sale February 20th. It's been my past experience when Samsung says something's going to sell on a date, If you pre-order, you actually get it a couple of days early. So we'll see when I get it.
Cool. Yeah, and that would be interesting to do especially since you've been using an iPhone, get one of the latest and greatest iPhones, get a side-by-side comparison and see how it works.
Yeah, just comparison, some speed tests, how the apps. I know some apps are vastly different, and some, are pretty much the same. And so I I don't put too much stock in those speed tests. If say the iPhone can open an app 1 second quicker, or a tenth of a second quicker than the Android, it's like saying this car can do 130, mine can only do 120, so I want to upgrade. I never need the 120, and so they're all
Yeah,
fast enough.
you're not trying to outrun the cops on a regular
No,
basis, so it's not
uh,
important.
I never have. Do you
Yeah,
know,
makes
true
zero of us.
confession here, I have never even gotten a speeding ticket,
Hmm.
but there's a good reason for that.
What's that?
I don't speed. I drive at or under. As a matter of fact, people at church, we have a lot of Amish in the area, a lot of horse and buggies on the road, and they kid me about the Amish passing me on the highway.
That's mean. That's cruel.
Yeah,
But
I don't drive very fast.
well, it's funny. The only time I've been stopped for speeding, I didn't get a ticket, and I had driven down to Amarillo, Texas, and this was back in the days when I was working for IBM, working on a project, and one of our project teams was in Amarillo. So I drove down there. We did some stuff for a couple of days, and I'm driving back, and I decided I wanted to take a different route to get back. Instead of taking this one boring route, I'd take another boring route. So I went up, through the Oklahoma Panhandle, and you get into Colorado. It's just rolling hills, mile after mile of rolling hills, straight road. And I was getting bored, and my foot kept going down, going down. I was going faster and faster. And at one point, this other car comes by and just goes whew, zipping by me, just boom, right by. And, so I didn't think anything of it. And I come over a hill, and a cop has that car pulled over to the side of the road, and he's waving me down. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I'm in trouble now. So I pull over to the side of the road, and guy comes up to the car, and he says, yeah, can I see your license? And I show him the license. He said, I'm going to look, let's act like I'm really mad at you and stuff like that. And I said, why? I was just kind of, he goes, well, these folks are from Texas, and I don't want to give them a ticket for speeding because they really were speeding. You were going almost as fast, but you're a Coloradan. I don't want to give you a ticket. And you knew the minute I stopped you, you knew that you had been going too fast, and I'm sure you're not going to drive fast for the rest of the trip, right? And I said, you're absolutely correct. And he says, well, sit here and look like you're really torqued off about stuff, and and we'll have an argument, and I'm laughing, and this went on for like about 3 or 4 minutes, and he says, okay, well, that's enough. And he hands a piece of paper to me, a blank piece of paper. He goes, there's your ticket, wink, wink, like that, walks back.
Yeah.
And I was just like so relieved, because, that's definitely, speeding ticket is not something you want. Yeah. So, I still have to thank the Colorado State Patrol for that one.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good. So no, I haven't, and I could. I'm sure I've speeded, especially when I come into a town. It goes to 35, and I was still doing 45. But
Yeah.
I guess my worst. You'll get a kick out of this. My worst driving uh, mistake. I had a job when I was in college driving. It was back when you didn't need commercial driver's license. I was driving a truck. It was fairly big, split axle, multiple tires on the axle. And I was driving that for a summer job, and I'd gone through a town down in West Kentucky, Princeton. And I noticed as I was going down the street, people were really waving at me. And I honestly thought, this is the friendliest town I've ever been in. I was waving. out the windows. Everybody, hey, y'all. I was going wrong way on a one-way street. They were trying to get
Oh
me to stop.
no!
I just waving back, but I never got stopped or anything. I just went on. So, but I
Oof.
was a teenager. I probably wasn't but 17 or 18. No, that had to be I was 18. Yeah. Remember this.
I love that. Well, I have to, since we're not talking computers here, I'll tell another fun story. One of my wife, is the same type of driver. We're both fairly conservative drivers. We don't speed. We always use our turn signals, which is something nobody else in Colorado does because they all moved here from California, and Californians never learned to use turn signals. But anyway, the only time I was with her when she got a ticket, we were in Australia. This was in the late 1980s. And we were driving up the east coast of Australia, from Sydney up to this one place, and I can't even remember the name of it, but it was kind of a jumping off point to go out to some of the islands and go to the Great Barrier Reef. So, we're driving along. We got, stopped at this red light in this town, and there was a hill, and it kind of went up over like that. And, the speed limit, I think, was like 30 kilometers per hour. So, really slow, very, very, very slow. And Barb, was paying attention to that. And she, starting off from the light, going up this hill, going very slowly. We come over the hill, and these cops have everybody pulled over, and they're giving speeding tickets. And so this guy comes over and with this great Aussie accent, speeding, we're giving you a speeding ticket. Bart goes, I wasn't speeding. I'd started at the light back there. I was barely going, 20 kilometers per hour. The speed limit's 30. I wasn't speeding. Oh, do you want to spend the night in jail here? Yeah. That's the kind of things. And it was basically one of those nice little speed traps. That was their way of getting revenue in this small town. And so we just shut up, took the ticket. A problem is if you get a ticket in Australia and you're from out of the country, and if you don't pay the ticket, you can never go back to the country. The next time you come in, you will be arrested. So we had to pay the stupid ticket. I was almost tempted to, see if I could get Australian coins and send them a pile of coins. But that was years ago. Nasty.
Yeah, that's quite a story. I guess it's best to pay and go on, not even try to fight it.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, so anyway, well, trying to think of any other tech news. Well, we haven't even touched upon. This can be our real big closer. What about that FaceTime privacy issue? That was a biggie that came up.
Wow. Yeah, wasn't that crazy? Yeah, and a 14-year-old essentially found the problem.
That was really something else. I watched some demos of it where you could call, especially if you called and did that someone's phone during the night and they're groggy and don't answer. You've got total video and audio of their phone until they wake up, So
you hear snoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really quite the bug. And the good thing was, I thought it was fascinating that Apple said that they will probably pay that 14-year-old, because they have that bug bounty program, and they're looking at paying him for finding that, which I thought was really kind of a nice thing.
Well, it is, and it was sort of sad, though, before they would even accept a report, they had to create a developer's account, sign up, I guess, pay for that and do all that before they would even accept the bug report. That really is a loophole they need to close where regular people can report bugs.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the mother obviously is bright enough. She's a lawyer, so she got the account created and did it and everything. I think it's $99 a year to create that, but they said they would pay him up to $250,000.
And I got a funny feeling he's probably going to get a free account from now on.
Yeah.
Apple, they've been, really good about, he'll probably get a free trip to WWDC So
Yeah, probably. They said a top executive went. They didn't say who, but I figure it was Craig Federighi or somebody in software.
yeah,
So one of the top executives. Could have been Tim Cook himself.
yeah, Kim, please don't
So
don't sue us or something. Yeah, it's such an amazing industry right now because you do anything that's just slightly either buggy or something that's so when it comes to being a moral thing to do, and everybody hears about it.
I know it. And I saw where Congress has written him today, wanting explanations and a lot of questions about it and everything. So I don't
Yeah.
know. President Trump might even mention it during his address tonight. I don't know.
I doubt that. Yeah, especially since the person who apparently, or the people who were asking about that were Democrats. So he's probably not going to, he'll
Yeah.
probably accuse them of, attacking Apple or something. So it'll be,
I'll tell
uh,
you, it feels good to be back live on YouTube just to know it's posting instantly. And
and recording. I don't
yeah,
have to. Previously, we were recording to the cloud, and then the next day, I actually had to take the cloud recording, send it up, and it was kind of a stupid thing. But
now if you can just do screen sharing.
yeah, that's totally boggling my mind why that's not working.
Well, I'll be
I
here
give up.
2 weeks with hopefully another app or two. So, and I'm glad I happened to think of that Life 360. Everything just came together the right night to do it.
Yeah, and I tell you, the next time, well, probably what I'll do in the next 2 weeks before our next show on the 19th is I'll probably do another one of those short YouTube tests and figure out why the heck I'm unable to do the screen sharing on here. Yeah, like I said previously, I would go down to well, hello, I have a cat coming up here, but I would go up to the tap on my screen here. There's share content, go into share, hit start. Everything worked beautifully. Life was good. And now it's like not working at all. I
That's
give
the
up.
way it goes, isn't it?
I give up. It's like, I give up. Oh, by the way, did you notice the new glasses?
Oh yeah,
Not
I
not that
thought
much
they looked a
different
little
from the
different,
others, but
but I thought there was look a little lighter color.
yeah, these are titanium and very, very thin. They're about an eighth of an inch thin earpieces. And they're made by a company called Blackfin. I have to hand it to them. They were very expensive. No, fortunately, my insurance paid for about half of it, but I really, really like these things. They've got a kind of a wider field of view than my previous glasses, so I can actually see when a cat's walking up to me.
Yeah, they look good. And I noticed you got earphones tonight, not your earbuds or headphones.
Yeah, these tend to work pretty well because I just plugged this into my Samsung mic, which is plugged into my USB-C hub over here, which is connected to the iPad. So,
Yeah,
whew.
USB-C hub helps on that. I still don't understand quite why well, I do, why they don't open it up. You can plug in a flash drive or, but they want to sell the higher capacity
Yeah, I,
iPads.
I wish the heck they would do that because talk about making it easy for people to, or, like this thing has not only all these other ports in it, but also has USB, or excuse me, SD card and micro SD. And what a perfect way to back something up. You
Yeah.
have an SD card, you just pop it in there, back up everything on your iPad. But someday,
Yeah, well, that's one thing I do like about Android. I can take a phone, I can pop a flash drive or USB right into the port, and it sees it just right in the file system. Just drag and drop or copy or whatever you want. It's just really like using a computer. And so that's one of course, I'll keep using the iPhone too, but I'm gonna try the latest and greatest Android in 2 weeks and see
yeah.
how it is.
Well, that's one thing I'm really, really hoping that we see at WWDC in, what is that, 4 months now.
Yeah.
Uh, I think they've heard it from pretty much everybody who's got an iPad Pro is, it's great hardware. The operating system needs to kind of match it and needs to expand, and they've got to do it.
Well, if they had the Mac OS on the iPad Pro form, that would be a no-brainer for me. I would love to have that because then I could do true computer stuff on a tablet.
Yep. And I bet you there's absolutely no reason why it can't be done.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I always had to laugh back in the days when Apple was still running on the
You had cats coming up, so I got to share a little.
Oh, hey, cats.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but you had cats coming in, so.
That was cute. But, back in the days when the Apple or devices were still running on the PowerPC chips and they were, suddenly about to make that move to Intel.
Right.
We found out that for 2 or 3 years prior to the switch, Apple had been testing devices that were powered by Intel chips. Pretty much gone in. They figured, oh, this is a no-brainer to do. It's easy. We can do it. And I would bet you that somewhere in one of their labs, there's probably an iPad Pro running Mac OS.
Probably so. A variant thereof that will have touchscreen, but there's so many apps that really require that. Like I love to game some with World of Warcraft, that audio hijack. Those are great apps, and if I could get those on the iPad Pro, that would be the thing to have. But anyway, we'll see come WWDC.
Yeah, and we'll probably be depressed about it, but then there will be other things to be excited about.
Yeah, iOS 13.
Yeah. Oh, lucky 13. Maybe they'll just skip to 14.
May do it.
You see, if I was Apple, you know what I would do is I would skip iOS 13 and I would create the Apple OS, the combined operating system that runs everything. Wah! But it's not going to happen.
Probably not this year anyway.
But it sounded good. Well, I think we've kind of killed it, and I know unfortunately, the State of the Union, from what I hear, they actually delayed it because the president is watching AWT TV, and
great.
He wanted to wait until it ended here, so it's 7:37 Denver time, 9:37 back in the East. I suppose we probably ought to let him have the podium.
Yeah, go ahead and back to the nation now.
Well, thanks again, Marty. Sorry about the technical issues again, but
that's all right.
We'll get them worked out. Some year, or either that, or I'm going to have to go back to a damn Mac. No.
Yep, I'll just stay on the Mac here. I'm still just using a Mac Mini from eons ago, waiting for the Mac Pro. So.
Well, what I could do is if I can find myself a used MacBook Air, that would be about the right price, and just
I've got one over here I bought used.
Yeah, you did.
It's been a good one too.
It's funny. I've got a couple of really old MacBooks that are actually sitting about 5 feet away from me here, but they are really, really old and really, really slow. And in fact, one of them I can't. There's no way I'd be able to run the current operating system on, so it ain't worth it. But anyway, everybody, we will see you in 2 weeks, and I promise we're going to have all the bugs worked out.
All right, February 19th.
100% bug free. And if you believe that, I've got some.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. And I will go ahead and we'll end this meeting. Everybody have an absolutely great 2 weeks. See you later.